Shove it, man!
It's the Hawk here. I've been a bit under the weather. I know, it's incredible, isn't it? Believe it or not, this Hawk is not invincible. I have to smack you all with a shorter video today, so sorry about that. A quick reminder with the Barood fundraiser. If the Shove It squad can get this to £1,000, the Hawk would do the unthinkable and personally donate 500 of my hard-earned Hawk dollars. So at least you know all the YouTube revenue's going to a good cause. An 8-year-old obese Indian child. So we're back to the land of NWA TNA, and it's been a hot minute since I've done one of these. To be honest, the show completely sucks now, so let's find out why. We start off with the 10-bell salute for the passing of Curt Hennig. We then cut to footage from the end of last week's show where it appears Jarrett got whipped by every member of Vince Russo's Sports Entertainment Extreme. Slapnuts only counts when he's live and in the building. Nwa Tna is now in the ring announcing that Mold Dog's dad, the half-man, half-mold, is taking a leave of absence from the NWA TNA as he can't cope with Vince Russo. He's replaced by a new director of authority, the old bastard JJ Dillon, but Russo comes out before he can say anything. Russo calls Dillon a piece of shit and says he tries to get him fired from WCW. TNA is literally obsessed with things from the past. This goes on for quite a while. JJ has a chance to speak finally and he blames Russo for the death of WCW, just like every week, whilst Russo pretends he's asleep. Eventually the Nazi brothers go to take Dillon out, but randomly the Sandman debuts in TNA, smashing the Bold Boys with his cane. Moving on to a tag team tournament now for the vacant tag titles, it will be Sports Entertainment Extreme's Rock and Roll Express versus America's Most Wanted. Chris Harris starts the match, easily beating the old man up. They cheat to get the advantage over him. They keep dropping knees on him until he almost cries. Ricky Morton hits a diamond cutter on Harris. It isn't normally Harris who gets isolated in these matches. The tag is eventually made to Storm, who hits the enziguri. He keeps almost winning the match, but the ref seems to be continuously distracted. AMW have enough and they hit double drop kicks on Ricky Morton. Out of nowhere, Chris Harris hits a perfect plex as a tribute to Curt Hennig and the match ends. There's no time to take in this good gesture as the Warrior appears in the ring, smashing Storm and Harris with a tag belt. He's not actually a tag champion anymore, but he will be fighting the winners of this tag tournament. Outside somewhere, Russo is screaming at a confused Raven for not warning him that the Sandman was coming to TNA. I guess because they're both in ECW together, Raven is Sandman's keeper. He then attacks them and hits them both with his stick. The matches now continue, although not in a good way because the Nazi boys are out now who will be competing in this tag tournament against Slash and Brian Lee. Brian Lee starts out with some Undertaker-like offense before bringing in his partner who instantly loses the advantage. The Slash man then starts doing okay until the Nazis start cheating and they kick a chair into his face. James Mitchell ends up having to try and cause a distraction which enables Slash to hit a kick and bring in Brian Lee. Brian Lee has a house on fire and he looks like he's got the match won after Slash hits a neckbreaker, but Low Key appears again, causing a distraction. This enables the Nazis to hit the H-bomb to win the match. Didn't enjoy this one at all. From something bad to something that should be good. It's the X Division title on the line with Kid Cash challenging for Sonny Don't Look at My Ass Siaki's belt. Both men start out trading deep arm drags. Siaki gets the advantage by smacking him down. We get a brand new move from Siaki now as he hits a lovely fall-away slam. They head to the outside of the ring where Siaki dodges a chair that's thrown at him, but Cash is able to nail him on a second attempt. Cash and Trinity are supposed to be the good guys here, yet they're cheating. The women keep fighting and getting involved in the match on the outside, which distracts the referee, so Siaki returns the favour and throws a chair at Kid Cash. The match tries to get rolling in the ring, but Desire pulls Cash out of the ring off a springboard attempt. It's just a 2 count from that one. Both men get annoyed and start trading pinfalls, which leads to a big Sonny Siaki suplex. It doesn't affect Cash much and he hits a Hurricanrana and a Tornado DDT. The ladies are now flat out fighting in the ring, they just don't care. Then, something awful happens. Cash is fighting Siaki on the top rope and he falls off. Cash tries to hit a dive but slips and falls through the air like a leaf in the wind. He does manage to land on Siaki, but it looks terrible. This is the end of the match as he's still able to make the cover, so Cash is now the X Division champion. Wow, the match quality is shocking. Even the X Division isn't giving us anything anymore. In the back, Goldilocks announces that she's with Sanders and Glenn Gilberti, but she can't keep a straight face about how stupid they are. Glenn is talking about wrestling character development again, and he says Goldilocks can go and be in a slut faction. He also says something about the Ku Klux Klan. He has a gay porn magazine and he's obsessed with one guy in particular. He really wants to hire him for Sports Entertainment Extreme. He keeps saying that he can do a lot of character development with this guy. Mold Dog marches up and tells them to stop looking at gay porn as they've got a match. I didn't make a single part of this up. It will be a 6-man tag, Ron the Truth Killings, Zach Gowen and Jorge Estrada who are taking on the 3 idiots from the last segment. Look at how far Ron the Truth has fallen. Truth hits a scissors kick on the mouldy one before Boring gets in. Truth also kicks him down. Truth tags Jorge in, who does some wacky double teaming with Truth. Jorge, who no longer has his flying Elvis costume, does well against Disco until he misses a splash. Disco drops in with a DDT and brings in the Boring one. We get some slow motion double team offense from them. Sanders starts trying to copy Mold Dog's offense. It doesn't look good. Disco misses the Village People's elbow, which gets Zach Gowen into the match. He hits a massive kick on Disco. In fact, he kicks everyone. He then tries a springboard kick, but he gets pulled to the ground on the outside. Moldy starts to enjoy this match now as he keeps kicking the one-legged wonder down. He gets distracted by his stupid referee brother after a few minutes, and Zach hits the moonsault from the top on him. Truth is now in, who is apparently the only man who has a chance in this match. He's left in the ring alone with beyond boring Mike Sanders, where he's able to hit his finisher. The back, sack and crack. Say it twice or I'll give you a smack. The match ends, it sucks. Goldilocks is in the back now with Raven, who looks confused. I guess no one told them that the camera was rolling. Raven starts talking about things that happened in ECW 6 years ago. He's then jumped by AJ Styles, who's been hiding in the car park. The Rock and Roll Express are also shown lying on the pavement like two druggy hobos. Time for our weekly roundup of the cage dancers. Well, I'm pleased to tell you that we actually have a new girl tonight. Unfortunately, her pupils are the size of a penny. Talking of drugs, next up it's Nwa Tna interviewing David Flair. He's sniffing like he has a cocaine addiction. He's complaining that his dad wasn't around to see him grow up. He also refuses to reveal what's in his sack. Low Key is out now for the 50th time tonight. He goes from not being on the show for weeks to being all over the show. We go to the back where Goldilocks is randomly with Steve Corino. Apparently they've been going to Japan as a team every week, but Steve Corino's finally had enough of Low Key's alignment with SEX. He keeps telling Low Key to look in his eyes, but they're so small I can barely see them. We haven't seen Steve Corino since the first episode of NWA TNA. What a random matchup we have here. Something weird happens in this one. Low Key throws the referee down and hits a rolling kick off his back. Corino isn't getting on well against the Warrior and he misses a drop kick and he gets an elbow. Low Key then gets a 2-off a suplex. The Warrior is really battering him in this one, but Corino gets back in it by stealing a page from Low Key's book. Corino then hits a nice release suplex which makes Low Key look like a small child. Corino sends him to the outside of the ring, but when Low Key comes back in he puts on the Dragon Sleeper. It doesn't last long and Corino gets a 2 count from a super kick. He gets another 2 from a net breaker, but then Low Key pokes the mouldy referee in the eyes and he gets DQ'd. The match is over before it had a chance to even get good. America's Most Wanted try and beat up Low Key after the match, but he runs away. The New Church are also running in the crowd looking for him. Low Key is a wanted man tonight. Goldilocks is in the back with Jerry Lynn and apparently some exciting news about the X Division. He talks about how bad the match quality is now and he says he's going to become the #1 contender for the X title. That match is up now. It's an 8-man elimination gauntlet match. Shark Boy versus the SATs. You know, there's something seriously wrong with these two guys. They literally have zero personality. Are they twins? Also in this match is the king of the cab driver slam, David Young, Tony Mamaluke, Jimmy, Don't Let Him Near a Might Rave, Donate to the Man That's Brave, Paul London, and Jerry Lynn. So we're starting with Shark Boy and an SAT. Sharky puts the SAT away in seconds with a deep sea drop. What a loser.
NWA Impact brings you the Smack of the Week, sponsored by all new Blonde for Men. If you're a brown-haired Potter, put some blonde in it. It makes you look hotter.
Alright man, it's this greaseball, the SAT. Looks like he's got a twin on the outside of the ring. I'm taking craps bigger than this guy. He sends the Shark into the middle of the ring. He's in the corner. Sharky hits the boot. He's got him in the corner. He's going for the deep sea drop. The deep sea drop. The DSD. Game over for the greaseball, man.
That was the NWA TNA Smack of the Week, sponsored by Blonde Just for Men. Get it? Got it? Shove it.
The SAT's twin brother is in now. He hits the lowest impact swanton bomb I think I've ever seen, but it's just a 2 count.
Dude, I was watching the NWA TNA show the other day, and this dude, the Spanish announce team, used my swanton bomb finishing maneuver, man, but it didn't finish. I'm going back to Carolina, and I'm gonna tell my stoner friend Shannon all about you, man.
Shark Boy also beats him with the deep sea drop. Shark Boy has more personality in his ass than these two could ever manage in their lives. Jimmy Rave is in now and he puts Shark Boy away with a driver. Tony Mamaluke comes in and he traps him in an armbar, but Rave makes the ropes. Mamaluke then hits a release suplex to eliminate him. This match sucks serious ass. Everyone is getting beaten in 20 seconds. The big man David Young is in now, but he gets taken down by some sort of chop block. David Young has now got a bad leg. Tony hits a shin breaker on a different leg before Young hits an overhead suplex in the corner. Tony Mamaluke tries a dive from the top rope, but he gets smashed with the cab driver slam, and he's out. Jerry Lynn is in now, who hits a TKO, but it doesn't hurt David Young much though, and he hits an atomic drop into the cab driver slam. David Young's leg is so bad he only gets a 2 count on Lynn. Young wants to hit a moonsault, but he misses that. Lynn puts on a half Boston, which doesn't make Young tap, but the STF does. Why was Jerry Lynn struggling so much against David Young? Paul London is in now, which is probably the only interesting thing about this match. London hits a Hurricanrana, but Lynn counters his next move with a Total Will backbreaker. London comes close to winning with a cool net breaker variation. London keeps doing well and hits a spinning heel kick. The 2 counts continue for London with a gut wrench into a slam. Paul London, who looks like a young Michael McIntyre by the way, makes a mistake and he gets hit with a sunset flip powerbomb for a 2. Later on, London takes a second shot at his shooting star, but Lynn gets his knees up. He makes it up, but Lynn smashes him with the cradle pile driver to end the match. What was this about this being the rebirth of the X Division? Definitely not. Conan then comes out of the microphone, but he doesn't hit anyone with a cane. Conan is speaking about things that happened in WCW 10 years earlier. He accuses Jerry Lynn of stealing the luchador's style because he used to wear a mask in WCW. Jerry calls Conan bitter and jealous because he's not a high flyer. Conan and the SATs then suddenly attack all the guys in the ring. All 3 leave together through the crowd where Russo questions if Conan is with him. He tells Russo he doesn't have time for his shit. Goldilocks is in the back now with Jorge Estrada, who's talking about the Flying Elvises, which ended 15 weeks ago, legitimately. Ron the Truth Killing suddenly interrupts the segment and says he's tired of being accused of being with Russo. He marches into the car park where some more SEX nerds have been taken out. Just the main event left now for this lackluster show. It will be Raisin versus the Sandman. The Sandman gets kicked during his entrance. It doesn't hurt him and he sends Raisin into the crowd barrier and he also moves the barrier into the ring. Seconds later, the Sandman hits a drop toe hold onto the barrier. He follows up with an atomic drop onto the rail and a crappy clothesline. The crowd barrier continues to be used as a weapon as Raven whips the Sandman into it. They fight all over the arena with nothing happening. Raven hits a suplex on the ramp and hits a steel chair shot. They do eventually get back to the ring where Sandman uses a trash can to get the advantage. They head back to the crowd again. The match then ends out of nowhere as Low-Ki appears at the top of some steps and he pushes Sandman off and through a table. Not the Raven debut match people might have hoped for. Steve Corino appears and he tries to beat up Low-Ki, but his best friend in the world, Raven, saves him. Now the Sandman is in the ring as TNA starts to transition from WCW to ECW. They then try to hang the Sandman, but suddenly a wild Slapnuts appears. Slapnuts saves the day and beats everyone up on his own. Our Lord and Saviour. What a pile of turd. This show sucks Sonny Siaki's ass. It's so boring and the matches all make me fall asleep. No good promos, no good storylines and no good matches. I guess that's what you get when you get a show with no AJ Styles, no Jeff Jarrett and a main event between 2 guys who aren't exactly known for great wrestling ability. From what I can tell, the Sports Entertainment Extreme era ends soon and we'll be starting the ECW chapter of TNA. Apologies again for the short video. I'll see you again on Saturday. Like a line of cocaine, I'll be on your brain.